Some anime fans might have already binged many of these shows and are looking for something new to watch. Others might want to know if their new favorite anime made it on this list. Either way, there's no doubt that the anime shown here have become stars this year, and they're worth a watch. Welcome back to FilmShack. Today, we prepared for you the best anime shows of 2020. Number 15. Tower of God. Tower of God is the first of what appears to be a series of major anime adaptations based on Korean manhwa. The series follows a young man named Bam as he tries to find his best friend Rachel in a gigantic tower that is alleged to grant the wish of anyone who reaches its top. The series has been well received for its distinctive feel, being both an approachable fantasy series and a darker take on the genre. This series also enjoyed great animation and a beautiful score by Kevin Penkin of Made in Abyss fame. Number 14. Keep Your Hands Off is Oaken. Science SARU continues its successful brand of making great adaptations of offbeat manga series. In this year's case, it's the manga Keep Your Hands Off is Oaken that follows 3 high school girls as they try to start up their animation studio. This series is well regarded for a ton of reasons, ranging from its unique art style to its being surprisingly educational about how animation is done and produced. This series also stands out due to it taking place in a simultaneously familiar and futuristic Japan. Number 13. Iki To the Top.
君呼ばれてないよね。
影山というセッターもいないお前に俺は価値を感じない。
The popular anime series about male high school volleyball has returned after a 4-year gap, and the new season has been well received by the fan base so far. Despite the minor controversy and some slight change in visual, due to Production IG having a different production staff for the season, the series is still well received. This is likely due to the season being more character-driven than previous ones, with the arc it adapting being one about the boys at training camp rather than a major volleyball tournament than the last season. Number 12. ReZero Kara Hajimero Isekai Sakatsu, Season 2. The first season of ReZero was extremely popular, and the second season has a lot of hype around it too. The series overall follows Subaru Natsuki's adventures in a world of fantasy after he was mysteriously brought there after a normal visit to the convenience store. He meets a unique cast, including a half-elf girl named Amelia, who he travels with in the series. Subaru finds that he is stuck in a loop when he wakes up on the same day each time he dies in this world. He uses this to his advantage to take on enemies in the world. But Season 2 follows what happens after the world has changed more than it ever has from one of his death loops. Number 11. Major Second, Season 2. Major Second is a sports anime that follows Daigo Shigino, a young boy who gets to be captain of his baseball team in Season 2. After the first season, Daigo feels excited about upcoming games with his team. However, it turns out that some events came up that caused the team to only have 6 members, including Daigo. Daigo must try to find new members, which isn't easy, as he and the rest of the team have to try and bond with anyone new if they hope to win their upcoming tournament. Number 10. Ascendance of a Bookworm, Season 2. The most well-received isekai series of 2020 so far would be Ascendance of a Bookworm's second season. The series follows librarian Urano Motusu, as she is reborn in a fantasy world as a young peasant girl named Mine. The show's second season sees Mine join the church, in her effort to become the first librarian in this medieval fantasy world. Ascendance of a Bookworm's second season continues to build upon its first season to craft a rather unique entry in the isekai genre. Unlike other series in the genre, Ascendance of a Bookworm is more grounded, focusing less on grand fantasy conflict and focuses more on a hero trying to improve the society they're stuck in. Number 9. Bang Dream, Season 3. The most surprising entry here would be the third season adaptation of Bushiroad's popular music franchise. This season focuses on 3 bands from the franchise, Poppin' Party, Rosalia, and Reza Suilan, as they seek to establish themselves as musicians. The 3rd season is well received compared to its mixed predecessor, for a couple of reasons. One is that the production staff has figured out how to make CG animation style look nice. Another is that the show decided to focus on 3 bands rather than the franchise's 5, allowing for it to tell a more narratively tight story this season. Number 8. Idolish 7 Second Beat.
でも私たちの名前も絆も変わりません。正直ほっとした。毎朝仕事に行く前不安だったから。
After the events of the first season of Idolish 7, this idol group is back for more, though they may have more on their plate than they can handle. After a successful performance wrapping up the first anime, the boys in the group Idolish 7 have an overwhelming amount of work to do, fans to please, and personal problems to overcome. Not only that, but the pile of responsibilities begins to affect one of the group members, Riku, who starts to get very ill. Now the group must try to manage this attention and work, while also deciding how much they can really take as their fame grows. Number 7. The God of High School.
それよりこの金髪ともっぺんやらせろ。
俺はあの時と違う。
Originally a webtoon series, The God of High School follows Mori Jin as he and his friends enter a fighting tournament for high school students. The winner will be named the God of High School, and they get to have one wish. Mori is fairly confident about his skills and his chances of winning the tournament. However, the title and prize might not be everything that he and his friends hoped for. The show is full of lots of action-packed fights, emotional bonds, and even plenty of humor to break up the seriousness of the tournament. Number 6. A certain scientific railgun tea.
こんなもんか。
2020 seems to be a good year to make a new season for a show after 7 years, as this top 10 list includes an anime of a 3rd season of a show that last came out in 2013. A certain scientific railgun adapted the popular manga spin-off of A Certain Magical Index, with this season adapting the manga's Daihasei Festival and Dream Ranker arc. This season continues with the last 2 seasons' success, blending the fun characters with crazy, fun-to-watch fights. What this season brings improvement-wise is that it lacks the filler arcs that plagued the show's first 2 seasons, thanks to the 7-year-long gap, giving JC staff more source material to work with. A testament to the show's popularity is that its numerous delays, brought about by the current pandemic situation, didn't discourage fans from watching. Number 5. Fruits Basket Season 2.
バカみたいだ。そんなこと絶対誰も口にしてはくれないって思ってた。思って。
The rebooted adaptation of the Fruits Basket continues to impress anime fans with its 2nd season. This season continues Toru's entanglements with the Soma family, a family whose children are cursed, to transform into the animals of the Chinese zodiac. This season should be noted as having gotten past the material that was used as the base for the now disowned 2001 anime adaptation. This 2nd season continues to build upon the strengths of the reboot's 1st season. This includes most noticeably great animations from TMS Animation and more manga-accurate character design. The anime also benefits from adapting a manga long concluding, allowing the staff to make better adaptation thanks to knowing how the series ends. Number 4. Doro Hedoro.
お前は違うと。そうか。そんじゃもういらん。
Studio MAPPA continues to build its reputation of creating great adaptation of various seinen manga series. In this year's case, it's Doro Hedoro. This series takes place in the Hole, a dystopian city whose denizens are exploited by sorcerers from another dimension. The series follows Kaiman, a human transformed into a lizard man by an unknown sorcerer, as he tries to hunt the sorcerer responsible. This series is highly rated for several reasons. One is that the series proves that in the right hands, a manga's art style can be successfully translated to a mostly CG anime. Another is that the series does a great job in balancing its grim setting with some of the best bits of black comedy seen in the medium. Number 3. And in No Xiaobaotai, Ni no Show. Also called Fire Force. This 2020 release is the 2nd season of the show. In this world, the Great Disaster left much of the world destroyed, and flames now surround any survivors. As time goes on, some of the survivors can control fire, while some others unfortunately become creatures known as infernals, who are consumed by flames. The main character, Shinra, has a lot to deal with in the first season alone, when he is starting out in the Fire Force. The second season has its own set of problems, from different forces trying to cause another disaster to Shinra hoping to find a cure that will make infernals human again. Number 2. Kingdom Season 3. The second highest rated anime on this list is a surprising one. Kingdom is an anime series based on a manga that tells the story of the rise of the Qin dynasty in ancient China. This story tells of the rise of a Qin warrior named Xin, as raised from war orphan to the kingdom's best general. With this season adapting, what readers of the manga consider the manga's best arc guarantee that this season is a better rate than the previous two. That's not all going in Kingdom Season 3's favor, as it is rare to see the anime's animation get better after switching studios between a 7-year gap between seasons. Along with this better animation is a better score, at the hands of noted composer Hiroyuki Sawano on Attack of Titan fame. Number 1. Kagayasama Love is War Season 2.
いいのみこちゃんか
有名人なのか
はじめましてでしょうか白金前会長
伝わらないもんだな
The best anime of the year, according to my anime list, by a decent margin, is the second season of Kagayasama Love is War. The show's second season continued to build upon the series' successful blend of sincere heartfelt romance with hilarious comedy, as two elite high school students tried to confess their love to one another. The show's second season also shows a stronger interest in telling longer storylines than the first, with the student council election and sports festival, adding a more continuous narrative in the series. The second season also improves upon its predecessor by fleshing out characters like Ishigami from the first season and introducing new characters like Lino and adding interesting new dynamics to the series. We would like to invite you to share your opinion with us. Do you agree with our list? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications bell. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!